Cryptilians and crypto crackheads, today is Monday, April 5th, 2021, and you're about to get Timified. New viewers, hey, this is a type of crypto channel that you have never seen before, so you never tune into a channel like this. I will not be reading white papers to you and telling you how amazing stuff is and encouraging you to buy it after I already bought it myself and trying to sell my bags to you as it goes 3x. Since all my viewers buy it, I'm not going to be doing that to you. I will not be interviewing CEOs who probably already paid me in that coin before the interview happens, as my hundreds of thousands of viewers see it. I won't be doing that. What I will be doing on this channel is showing you how to click confidently with your money before you enter a trade so that you have the feeling of confidence. To define that confidence, I have an extremely high probability that I am entering a winning trade. I know you probably don't have that as a retail investor. I know you've bought stuff and it screams down 30% or 20% right after you buy it, right? It's just the crappy feeling. That's the first thing we do on this channel. I show you how to enter confidently with high probability and the system to do it across all coins. Like, you can just apply the same system and you don't have to look at what I'm doing. You can just do it yourself. The second thing we do on this channel is I show you how to take profits like a boss. If you want to be a profit pimp, instead of a buyer and prayer buying OMI and hoping it goes to $1, which it won't, by the way, this run, it will not. It probably won't pass 15 cents. But instead of buying and praying, I'm going to show you how to be taking profits like a boss, buying back lower, and compounding your crypto as opposed to just keeping the same amount of OMI all year. I will show you how to, if you want to keep OMI, well, I'll show you how to sell OMI confidently, buy it back lower, and really accumulate your crypto and take profits like a boss. And really, if you viewed this channel much longer, you'll realize that being an OMI is very weak gains compared to small caps, because this channel covers mostly small caps. So today's video, right now that I'm recording, this will be over all market sentiment, Bitcoin and Ethereum. And the next video that I'll make today will be covering my small cap altcoins, which is the heart of my channel. I started off with BPro, so that's what we'll do here. And this one's about Bitcoin. Let me remember to minimize myself before I record for 15 minutes and have to redo it again. All right, so let's go to the monthly chart here on Bitcoin. Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin are all working on their 7th monthly green candle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Ethereum, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If you look at a chart, it's never happened in Ethereum before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Never happened before, right? So some pretty big stuff's happening. And so if you've been following my channel, and for new viewers, you can go back on my previous videos. I've been talking all these compounding reasons why I'm short-term bearish, thinking we're due for a pullback for about 3 weeks now. However, I feel that in general terms, that this correction has been delayed because Coinbase Cardano news, all the YouTubers talked about it. People got their free printed money, bought crypto, propped up the market longer than what would be typical per the signals I'm getting for a pullback, not the end of the bull market, just a pullback. And second, this next prop was news off of Coinbase IPO, further extending the market during what should be a correction in my thoughts per all my technical analysis that I've been doing over these last videos. So I think this is like a double prop up. And since people aren't going to be fooled twice in Bitcoin to go long at the top again, they've already fooled people. Well, I think that exchanges are working together to prop up Ethereum to get people to get fooled there. I mean, to go long and as they drop it on their faces, since they're not going to be fooled twice in a row on Bitcoin. So particularly what I think is happening right now is that I think this has happened. The exchanges knew that people were getting free money, free printed money, especially in the United States, your stimulus checks, and knowing that their signals are saying big corrections coming, they got people to go long. They released news on Coinbase about Cardano. They released more news and likely paid YouTubers to talk about it to get people to go long. And some YouTubers were actually telling their viewers to use a specific exchange and go 10x leverage right here on this shape here to go long. And what happened? Boom. All right. And yeah, so that's what's happened in the market. I mean, people are just getting screwed left and right based off that. The exchanges are some of the biggest whales in crypto. They can prop up markets, people, and they're doing it. They're taking retail investors who don't know what they're doing when they're clicking with leverage, and they're just screwing them because they had printed money. If they lose $4,500, well, who cares? Each kid's $1,400, right? So that's what's happening. Like, I think this is all falsely propped, and I think this is the exchanges doing it. So specific to right now is, well, they did it here to people, liquidated more people in 1 hour than in the history of Bitcoin right here. Even though it's a 2-hour chart, it happened right there. This was the most liquidations in 1 hour. No, it's this one. In 1 hour in the history of Bitcoin. Free printed money, getting YouTubers to go long on news, or to get their viewers to go long, even suggesting that they go long on 10x leverage on a specific exchange with Coinbase news, while they talk about Coinbase news, while they talk about Cardano going to the moon, while I'm saying it won't. I'm saying it's going to fall flat on its face, and I shorted Cardano at $1.41, and I roughly doubled my money. It's like I exited at 98% or something profit when it started going back up. I exited my short. Anyway, while I was warning people this is going to fall flat, and it did. And so I think this is just the second push that they are running off of the YouTubers talking about Coinbase going public and still having a little bit money left off. The Americans, at least, with their stimulus money, and leveraged exchanges are just trying to use Ethereum to pump it to get people excited to go long again, because people are not going to be fooled twice to do it on Bitcoin. Bitcoin already lost its juice, probably is not going to try this again quite yet. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. And I think that Ethereum's being propped up right now to get YouTubers to talk about it, to get YouTubers to talk about 2300, to get their viewers to go along. And then the exchanges, then since they're the ones propping it up, I think they're going to dump it on people's faces. I think this is literally exchanges having a heyday on retail investors with stimulus money. I think that's exactly what's happening. And if you want to see it on Bitcoin, look, let me just show you what I think is psychologically happening mass-wise, like across the whole world. Watch. Stimulus money. We tested it once. We tested it twice. We're definitely going to break out on this third time. Let's go long. All right. Okay, we tried again. We only lost, like, a little bit of our money. Let's go long again, because all the YouTubers are saying this is an inverse head and shoulders. It's going to break out, and they're suggesting we go long. Let's go long. Now they've lost their money twice. They're really disheartened. Now all those people, even though a lot of them probably shorted here like idiots, but maybe slightly more educated people in trading shorted here, which is a very reasonable place to short. Then the price comes down to here, right? And you're looking at Bitcoin. Then, in order to make sure that they don't have to pay those people who just went short here, they propped up the market one more time to knock them out of their trade and or to liquidate them if they're using too much leverage before it resumes down. And since I don't think people are going to be fooled twice and 3 times with Bitcoin, they're trying to essentially do what happened just on Bitcoin over here on Ethereum. Failed attempts to break this, to essentially break this line. That goes back to the, actually no, I guess the previous highs were here. So I think all of this price action here is propagated by the exchanges being some of the biggest holders in the world of Bitcoin. And this is just because they already fooled people on Bitcoin too many times. They wanted to fool them on Cardano. And the people who shorted Bitcoin or long Bitcoin got disgruntled. And what do you do when you're disgruntled and you just lost a lot of money? You want to get it back, right? So you're going to short even harder on more leverage. And this is just like a triple FU. So the exchanges have 3 arms, each with its own hand. This is like the third FU. Green dildos up your bungholes. Lose your money the third time. And there are so many people who are probably getting kicked out of the crypto market in general by listening to YouTubers saying Cardano to $25, saying Ethereum is going straight to $3,000. Look at these fib lines. The Cardano news, it's going to moon. Like, I think that's what's happened. I think the exchanges are essentially leveraging YouTubers and all the viewers who are new to this. They don't know what they're doing. They get disheartened. They make even more leverage to get the money back that they lost here on their longs. Now they're going to short leverage because they're geniuses, right? We'll do 25x leverage this time. boom. And then we'll resume down so that the exchanges don't have to pay all those leverage shorts here because they got liquidated or stopped out. Now price will resume down. That's my read of the market. Will that happen? I don't know. But all my previous videos, I'm letting you know, very statistical / technical analysis based reasons, ranging from candles to RSI being rejected, which it's still being rejected. The 2-day. See? Look at this. Not one time in the history of Bitcoin, not a single time, has the 2-day RSI been rejected from its moving average and not hit this line, thus forming roughly a 32 to 38% correction. Not a single time. So anybody going long and thinking the market is bullish based off price action, I think that they are missing that key point. That you are literally betting against a trend that has a 100% hit rate. Regardless of the macro trend being up, I get it. But a macro trend going straight up isn't a 100% hit rate. It's just the current macro trend. This has a 100% hit rate. 100. While on the daily chart, if you look at the RSI, it's clearly losing steam. I just don't know how this isn't obvious to more people. Look. Clearly losing steam. And I think that people are just focusing on bullish divergences, making higher lows on price while making essentially lower lows. So essentially, like kind of looking this as lower lows on RSI, seeing that as bullish. I think this is going to break down. I think it's going down here. This shows running out of steam to me. Because we're making higher highs in price on this. I think the gas tank's empty. And then this 2-day, it's a 100% hit rate trend. I don't know why I would bet against that. The macro trend's up, I get it. But I think the midterm trend is down. And it's being falsely propped up with exchange money. I think that's exactly what's happening. And I think it's all based off of two things. Free printed money and all the YouTubers talking about April's always bullish. April's always bullish. Let's go long. Let me suggest to you as a YouTuber in my 300,000 viewers which exchange to use, and I suggest using 10x leverage because this pattern over here, I'm a pattern trader, this pattern is an inverse head and shoulders, leading hundreds of thousands of viewers astray to lose their money. I think it's a perfect storm. Perfect storm, mostly based on the fact that free money came around April, and April's been a green month. So they propped up March, so it stayed green with Coinbase Cardano news and then Coinbase IPO news to keep it going strong so that they could fool people going long. I think the exchanges propped up the market, are propping it up just to squeeze out just a little bit more out of these people before they let it go. Because once they stop supporting it, it will drop. I think that's exactly what's happening. Am I crazy to be saying this? I don't think so. That's just what I'm seeing, right? Do I know I'm going to be right? Absolutely not. I actually prefer when I'm wrong because when I'm wrong, I'm able to reflect on that, not make that same mistake again in the future. Therefore, I'm actually right more often, right? So if I'm wrong, I learn from it. It's great. And like I mentioned in my last video, you need to prepare yourself to make money when you are wrong because you're not thinking of just the one thing you want or one thing you think. You think of the most probable, perhaps enter trades on that if it's the probability is high enough. A second most probable thing that might be in the opposite direction, or it may be the same direction but delayed or whatever, or sideways movement first. A third most probable and 2 what ifs. So because you think about the 3 most probable situations and 2 what ifs per this channel, you should be prepared to exit any losing trades and immediately flip that to making money and being profitable in when price goes the direction opposite of your technical analysis. Because ask yourself this question. Do you make money from technical analysis or do you make money from trading? You make money from trading. So just because your TA was wrong, you're supposed to be here trading. So who's paying you for technical analysis? Well, technically I'm being paid for technical analysis, but besides that, let's ignore that obvious. Oh, hey Tim, I think you are. Yeah, okay, but you aren't. You make money when you enter safely and take profits like a boss. So this general market sentiment, before I get to my altcoin video here a little later today, you need to prepare yourselves. This could go either way. I think it's going to go down. I'm only giving you the reasons why. This is more of a general market psychology. You know, we're still printing like dojis and stuff. So we printed 3 dojis. I just think this is all propped up by the exchanges, folks. And not by means of buying Bitcoin. I think they're doing it with Ethereum, which leads people to naturally allow Litecoin price, Bitcoin price to go up. And I think this is a false rally, because if you go down to the 5-minute chart, which I don't recommend, crackheads, because this is how you lose your money. But actually, I think it was more visible on Litecoin. Let me go to the hour. Yeah, so this is not natural. Look at this. This is not retail. This is not people just buying it. This is exchanges taking out shorts that people intelligently, shorted at a pretty good level, and they're just, this is the third middle finger. This is not natural buying. It's not. This is not natural. This is like the last gasp that the exchanges had to really squeeze out the blood out of the rock. Squeezing the last pennies out of retail investors who have that free money. Government printed monopoly money, which is why I'm a Bitcoin maximalist. But I think it's the only true form of money in the world, currency in the world. But anyway, those are my market thoughts. I know I'm crazy. It sounds crazy if you're a new viewer here, but if you go back on my previous channels, there's a lot more non-crazy technical analysis that's going on. So this is my psychology market read, right? The market read of psychology. If I were an exchange with billions of dollars of Bitcoin, and I knew the owners of the other exchanges with billions of dollars of Bitcoin, what would I do? Why would I be doing that? Well, if I wanted to take a lot of people's money who just got probably up to $8,000 if you had 4 kids, each kid's a 1,400. People walking around their house, not even calling kids by name. They just say, hey, 1,400. Hey, other 1,400. Hey, 1,400. High five, 1,400. People with 1,400s running around their house, right? So they're putting a plan together to double and triple prop the market to get people to go long, screw them, long again, screw them. Then they go short, and then this is the last screw point. And I think they're going to be out of tricks after this one. I think this is the last trick. And I think we're going to resume course. That's my call. Call me crazy, but let's see how it plays out. And if I'm wrong, and if you kind of see what I'm seeing and you agree with it, just make sure you are prepared to make money if and when Bitcoin resumes forward, because that is the macro trend. It could easily happen. And honestly, on the monthly and the weekly, even on the weekly, so lower time frames below the weekly, the 2-day, the day, a lot of things are printing a little bearish, but I think the daily and the 2-day are going to flip the weekly. Actually, let's look at the weekly real quick. No, the weekly's stuck under its RSI. This is not bullish. Look, price does not continue making all-time highs when it's weak. RSI is stuck under its moving average. You can't find one time in history where it just gets stuck, rejected, and then busts through up the side. It doesn't happen. Look, kind of propping up the market. That was a big hoorah. Really screwed people who were shorting. But then it went down. Huge correction. Look. Doesn't happen. See that? Above this white line, obviously. So once it gets down here, it's resetting. So this is healthy. This is consolidation. This is consolidation. But not one time has it been rejected that it just continued being bullish. Not one time. See? Rejected. Big fake out all the way down. Rejected. Resume down. Rejected. So why do you think something's going to change? This is a 100 hit rate trend on the weekly and the 2-day. Why are people thinking that we're making all-time highs? I don't get it. I don't get it. I know that price looks that way, but that's why you have indicators. And the weekly, is the granddaddy, I think, because Bitcoin's a little too young to really rely on the monthly, unless it's a few indicators that really do work well for overall macro trend. But in terms of intermediate trend, it's the weekly. This would be a first in the history of Bitcoin and Litecoin and Ethereum. A first. Why would you bet on a first, right? So that's what I'm seeing. Thanks for all of you for viewing. Thanks for listening to my craziness, but it's really important to try to put yourself in exchange's shoes. Billions of dollars on the line. Hundreds of or millions of people with thousands and thousands of free money dollars who are throwing it at crypto. They want to take it from you, and they're doing it. You just got timified. See you next time.